What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ review. Thank you so much for joining me right here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. And today we're going to talk about the new film on Amazon Prime, the new horror film called Totally Killer. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Let's just say it. I found this film totally killer. I did. I loved it. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I love this movie. I think it's one of my favorite movies of the year. It combined a lot of things that I love: 80s slasher, time travel sci-fi, 80s comedy, some fish out of water stuff. There's a lot of really good fish out of water movies out there, guys. So it combined a lot of stuff that I really dig. This story is fairly simple. 35 years ago, the Sweet 16 killer murders three high school girls by stabbing each one of them 16 times. Then the killer disappears until present day, 2023. And then he strikes again, killing somebody by stabbing them 16 times. Jamie, whose mom was in high school during the original killings and was affected by the original killings, um, Jamie is able to travel back in time to try to stop the Sweet 16 killer back in 1987. Yeah, this is a comedy. And yeah, this is another 80s nostalgia piece. And there's been a lot of them lately. It certainly has a brutality to it also, though. Seeing a girl get stabbed 16 times, it can be harsh to watch. It's not going to be for everybody, but it's also not overly gory. Honestly, I would compare it to the early Scream movies. Scary, in some ways brutal, but not overly gory. Not like Saw, not like a lot of the gory movies we have today, like Terrifier 2 and things like that. There's some suspension of disbelief that needs to happen to believe that these girls came up with a time travel device on their own. But once you get past that, the rest of this movie just really, really works. There's also a lot of comedy when Jamie meets her high school aged mom and learns that her mom is a mean girl. There is some wokeness sprinkled about in there. Most of it's pretty inorganic. Teens, yeah, even modern teens in today's society are every bit as capable of being awful to each other as teens in the 80s were. I know it's shocking. A teen who travels back in time is unlikely to talk about how problematic everything is because teens today say problematic stuff all the time. I'm sorry to burst the bubble, guys, they just do. Unless the main character is just the most pretentious person ever, pointing out problematic things from the 80s is simply modern writers thinking they're being hip and relevant. Just, it is what it is. But honestly, the rest of this movie just works and it works so well. It's a fun time travel adventure. It's a teen horror that's a teen slasher that's reminiscent of the 80s. It's an examination of pop culture with a lot of references to other movies, including Back to the Future and Scream. And like Scream, there's a mystery on who the killer is, and there's several red herrings sprinkled about in there. When the killer is finally revealed, it was pretty obvious and honestly a little underwhelming. But let's flip that. On the flip side of that, they went with the obvious killer. They didn't try to outsmart the audience with some stupid twist or story inconveniences, and that's something that I actually do appreciate. So yeah, Totally Killer is fantastic. If you're a fan of teen slashers, if you like Scream, if you're a fan of movies like Happy Death Day, this movie's for you. I highly recommend it. It's probably going to end up being one of my top 5 to 10 favorite movies of the year. I really liked it a lot. So, Totally Killer. Did you see it? If you saw it, what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below.